So if you've ever gone into Device Manager, right-clicked on a device, clicked on Update Driver, and Windows came back and told you something like, the base drivers for your device are already installed, I've got some news for you. Because that message doesn't mean what almost everybody thinks it means. And it's the reason you get people all over the comments saying Windows tells them everything is fine, while some other app is telling them they've got 11 outdated drivers. So in this video, I'll show you what the button actually does, where the driver updates are genuinely hiding in Windows, how to get the real drivers from the manufacturer, whether you're on a desktop or a laptop, and how to deal with those unknown devices with the yellow warning triangle. And right at the end, what to do when a driver breaks something, because that does happen and almost nobody covers it. The first thing is to do this before you begin, not after. Windows 11 ships with system protection turned off, so there's no restore point being made for you. So do a search for restore point and then open up create a restore point. Turn protection on for your system drive and create one manually before you go installing drivers. And just know these get cleaned up after about 60 days, so it's not a long-term safety net. So let's begin with that Device Manager button. When you right-click on a device and go to Properties, then the Driver tab, and you click on Update Driver, and then search automatically for drivers, most people assume Windows goes off to the internet and has a look for the newest driver. It actually doesn't. Since Windows 10 version 2004, so that's back in 2020, that button only searches your own computer. It's looking at what's called the driver store, which is just the collection of your driver packages already sitting on your machine. So when Windows tells you the base driver is already installed, what it's really saying is that the base driver it already has on this PC is installed. Your graphics card could be 3 or 4 versions behind what the manufacturer has released, and you'd still get that same message. And that's exactly why a third-party scanner and Windows disagree with each other. Now you'll notice when it can't find anything, it usually gives you an option underneath to go and search Windows Update instead. And clicking that just takes you to the Windows Update page. So Windows knows there's a second place to look. It just doesn't look there for you. So if we go into Settings, then Windows Update, then Advanced Options, and we scroll down to Additional Options, there's an entry here called Optional Updates. If you click into that, then expand Driver Updates, then you'll see this is where Windows has been quietly keeping driver updates that it will never install for you automatically. So tick whatever's in there and then click on Download and Install. And if there's nothing waiting, this entry might not show up at all. So if it's missing for you, you're not doing anything wrong. And then while we're here, let me answer the question that gets asked under every one of these types of videos, which is whether you have to click through every device in Device Manager one at a time. You don't have to do that. Since that button only checks what's already on your PC, doing it 200 times gives you the same answer 200 times. So now let's go and get the proper drivers. And this is where it splits depending on whether you're on a desktop or a laptop. Now, if you're on a desktop, what you need is your motherboard, because that's where your audio, your network, your USB, and your chipset drivers all come from. So we can do a search for system information, then open up the system information app. And on the system summary page, you're looking for 2 lines. There's baseboard manufacturer, and then there's baseboard product. So you can see exactly which board I've got here, and with those 2 things you can go to that manufacturer's website, find the downloads page for that exact model, and everything you need is right there. And the one I'd install before anything else is the chipset driver. That's the one that teaches Windows about the controllers on your board. So the USB, the storage, all of that. And a lot of the time installing the chipset package on its own makes a handful of those unknown devices disappear by themselves. Now, if you're on a laptop, it's a bit different because you're not looking for a motherboard, you're looking for your exact model of your laptop. So in that same window, instead of the baseboard lines, you want system manufacturer and system model. And a lot of manufacturers will also want the serial number because that's how they know which variant of that model you've got. So the command you want now is get-cim instance, and you can run this in your terminal to pull the serial number straight out of your BIOS. Then you can take that number over to the manufacturer support page, paste it in, and it gives you the exact driver list for your machine. If you were not able to get the serial number this way, you can always just look at the back or the bottom of the laptop, and in most cases the serial number will also be physically printed on the laptop itself too. And one more thing, because I don't want anyone to get caught out here, you should only download the drivers from your motherboard manufacturer, your laptop manufacturer, or the chip maker themselves. There are a lot of sites out there that look like driver download pages, and they are anything but that. And that's exactly how people end up with malware or viruses on their system. Now for graphics drivers, you want the vendor's own app rather than Windows. For NVIDIA, that's the NVIDIA app. And I'm being specific there because GeForce Experience is the old one and it's been replaced. For AMD, it's the AMD Software Adrenaline Edition or their Auto Detect tool. And for Intel, it's the Intel Driver and Support Assistant, which is worth knowing about because it covers more than graphics. So your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Ethernet, and chipset as well. Now, if you're interested in installing graphics drivers specifically, I've got dedicated tutorial videos on each one of these manufacturers like NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel, and I'll link all of those in the description down below. Okay, so next, let's have a look at the yellow triangle that appears in Device Manager, because this is the one that really frustrates people, and it's usually right after a clean install of Windows. Now, when a device has no driver at all, it doesn't sit in its proper category. It won't be under network adapters or sound, video, and game controllers. It gets put into a category called Other Devices, with that yellow warning triangle on it. And I want to clear something up here because a lot of guides tell you to go into View and then turn on Show Hidden Devices to find these. That's not what that does. Show Hidden Devices is for hardware that isn't plugged in anymore. Your unknown devices are already visible, they're just in a category you weren't looking at. The other thing is, it might not literally say unknown device. Very often you'll get something like PCI device or base system device, which tells you absolutely nothing. So what you're looking for is the yellow triangle, not a particular name. So to work out what it is, right click on it, then go to Properties, then the Details tab, and then in this property dropdown, change it to Hardware IDs. That gives you a string that identifies the device. And you can right click on the top one and copy it. Now you can head over to Google, and then you can paste that ID into Google and do a Google search for it. You'll obviously get a bunch of results, but what you're looking for here is the actual manufacturer websites of your laptop or their forums. In many cases, there will be answers about where you can download this specific driver from the official website in those forums. And if you've downloaded a driver that's got no installer in it, just a folder full of files, that's when you use the Device Manager. So you can then right click on the device, click on Update Driver, and this time choose Browse My Computer for drivers, then point it at the folder you extracted and make absolutely sure that the checkbox to include subfolders is ticked, because that's the one people miss. Now let's talk about it going wrong, because a driver update can absolutely break something. And this is the part that gets skipped in every other video on this. Now, if a driver has already gone bad on you, go back into Device Manager, right click the device, then Properties, then the Driver tab, and then there's a Rollback Driver button. That puts the previous version back. Two things to know though. In practice, Windows only keeps the one previous version, so you can't keep rolling backwards. And if you've run disk cleanup and ticked the device driver packages, that button goes gray because you've just deleted the thing it was going to roll back to. And if the machine won't boot at all afterwards, you can get into safe mode by interrupting the boot 3 times in a row, which drops you into the recovery options. And from there, it's just troubleshoot, advanced options, startup settings, restart, and then press 4. Then you can roll back the driver from in there. Then the last one is a complaint I keep seeing constantly, which is Windows putting an old driver back after you've installed a newer one. That isn't you doing something wrong. Microsoft actually admitted this earlier in the year for graphics drivers, and they're changing how those get targeted to stop it from happening. But that's still rolling out. So right now it can still happen to you. And in the meantime, on Pro editions of Windows, you can go into Group Policy under Windows Update and enable the Do Not Include Drivers with Windows Updates which keeps Windows Update out of your drivers entirely.